Hello everyone and welcome to Flickering Myth TV, an extension of the website flickeringmyth.com. My name's EJ Marino and today we are diving into a brand new review of The Lighthouse. If you're a fan of weird horror movies and Willem Dafoe, drop what you're doing now and find a way to see The Lighthouse, because this is one of the most engaging, enthralling, strangest movies I have seen in quite some time. Now, am I going to say that The Lighthouse is for everyone? Look, this is a challenge to watch. Not everyone's going to like this movie, but what is presented here, to me, I think this is one of the best horror movies in quite some time and one of the best movies of 2019. The Lighthouse follows two lighthouse keepers, one played by Willem Dafoe, the other played by Robert Pattinson, as they try to tend the lighthouse, deal with all the craziness around them, and find a way to survive the 4 weeks that they're planned to be there. Now that sounds, I don't want to say it sounds simple enough, because like 1860s lighthouse keeping, not an easy job. But this is like supposed to just be an in and out job, they're gone. Now this is such a crazy movie because we just watched two men go slip into just craziness. Like it's kind of sad to see, like, you know how like when you watch The Shining and you're like, oh man, I hate watching like Jack Torrance go through this. That's what happens in this movie. You feel bad for both of them, but you don't want to take your eyes off the screen. You're just like, oh, this is disgusting, but what happens next? And that's what I love about this movie. As much as I wanted to like peel my eyes away and go, okay, this is getting strange, I couldn't. I just was so amazed by what was happening on screen. If you're a fan of The Witch, the first movie from director Robert Eggers, you're going to like this movie because there's a lot of things similar to this. Now, I'm kind of torn if I think this or The Witch is better. They're kind of like on equal footing. I think The Witch has a better story because The Lighthouse does lack a clear narrative. I think the story is just watching two guys go insane, but it does lack that like that plot that I think really made The Witch a standout. But I think on a technical level, The Lighthouse is such an amazing film. From some masterful cinematography, great acting, even better direction, and one of the most haunting scores I have heard in quite some time. I cannot recommend this movie enough to some weird movie fans. Now, I don't think this movie's for everyone. If you said to me, oh, I didn't like The Lighthouse, I wouldn't be shocked because, yeah, it's a strange movie. But if you like these kind of movies, I really think this is something that you should try to venture out and see because there's not a lot of movies like The Lighthouse. With such a limited cast, I mean, there's truly only two actors in this movie throughout the whole running time. This really depends on the acting, and the acting is phenomenal. Willem Dafoe does one of his best performances in quite some time, and Robert Pattinson continuously proves himself to be a serious, amazing actor. Now, this movie does have some goofy moments from both actors, but this is such a great piece of drama from both of them. The way they deliver these long monologues, the way they handle the craziness around them, it's kind of impressive. Like, I haven't seen acting like this in some time where I went, holy hell, this movie must have been a challenge to work on, but even more rewarding. Like, I can only imagine these actors seeing the finished product and being so happy with the work they created because it's so fresh, so new, and so good. Like, I'm trying to see who's better. I personally think Robert Pattinson is a bit better than Willem Dafoe because I think Robert Pattinson had more of an emotional range in this movie, but that is not denying that Willem Dafoe knocks this movie out of the park. Honestly, Best Supporting Actor could go to Willem Dafoe in this movie alone because this is such a great performance. If you want to see, like, this is a masterclass in acting. That's the easiest way to sum this up. This is just two great actors being great at their job. When we're talking about awards and what this movie should be like rewarded or acknowledged for, the cinematography, from that squared aspect ratio to the black and white to the way the camera moved, shooting it on 35mm film, I think this is such a feat in cinematography. I haven't seen a movie that looked like this, honestly, in quite some time. Like, this gave me Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, like, just weird visuals. Nosferatu, the way they use the black and white, the way they use the absence of color. Like, you could tell when there's supposed to be color in a scene, and you go, oh, I'm kind of glad that there's no color in this because this would be too strange. I love what they do with the black and white, with the aspect ratio, with the way the camera, there's this one shot where the camera goes up the lighthouse and it's so impressive. I was so blown away by the look of this film. This is not an easy feat. So I give the cinematographer and I give director Robert Eggers credit for going the extra mile. All I want from movies is to go that extra oomph. I want them to really like prove themselves as a piece of art and this really does. With 2 impressive performances, great cinematography, a great score, and some amazing directing, I cannot recommend The Lighthouse enough. Now, if this movie's too strange for you, don't come back to this review and go, bro, you suggested that, I hate you, because honestly, this isn't for everyone. But I said, if you like weird movies, this is right up your alley, and if you're into some horror movies but are so tired of like those haunted house movies or some of those like kind of slasher movies we're starting to see again, this is one for you. This is something kind of close to Midsummer this year and pure what the hell like insanity, and I love to see the genre of horror just go this extra area. Like usually horror is never this strange. Now this movie is funny as well, there's some good moments, but it's so scary in the isolation, in the foreboding nature of this movie. I was as soon as it started, instant dread. The best thing I can do for this movie is not tell you enough and let you go in as blind as you can. Honestly, the way I can sum up this review is go see this movie. Now, if you're turned off by anything I said, avoid this movie like the plague, because this is not going to be for you. This is going to be one of those movies that either piss people off or make them happy. I'm on the happy side, but I can definitely see this angering some viewers, and I would love to know what you think of this movie, so let us know down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to Flickering Myth, because we make videos like this every single week, and give us a thumbs up, because YouTube takes those way too seriously. Alright guys, let's talk about The Lighthouse below.